Hi, guys, and welcome back to the hot seat. I hope you really enjoy meeting Ine and listening to all about her amazing story and her journey and what she's doing here in Las Vegas. So, we're going to move to our next guest. He is a marketing specialist and he also dabbles a little bit in film and television himself and commercial. He is amazing. I've worked with him before on something great for MGM. So, everyone, please welcome Marlon Medina. Hello, welcome.
Hey,
It's good
always
to
a
see
pleasure.
you. Good to see you. You look great.
Oh,
Please have
thank
a
you.
seat. I'm loving the navy blue. Very business. So I just saw you not too long ago, and we had the pleasure of working together for the first time, which is great. And you actually not only are marketing specialists, but you also have your own production company called The Real Fleet, correct? So your marketing company is Golden Medina Services, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what it is for you when it comes to marketing and how that's going for you here in Las Vegas, because I'm sure there's a lot to market. It's a great city for you to be in. So tell us a little bit about your journey with that.
Yeah, I think my journey was really trying to find myself. And I think that's at the core of what I do is I have to make sure that it brings me joy and enjoyment. And I think the hardest part in starting or deciding what to even start in the first place was what brings me fulfillment. And for me, it was creating something. I originally started, I was an illustrator. That's what I went to school for. And I had that kind of mentality. Well, what kind of art can I create? Well, in a sense, marketing is an art because what you're doing is you're crafting the message. You're being the communicator. You're being the person that's projecting those thoughts for the business on their behalf. Without you, it's like you have a nice shiny object, but it's wrapped up and no one can see what it is. So my goal is to help unwrap that and let people know, let that light shine for that business because we love our Vegas businesses. I've been a lifelong Vegas local here, and so it's my job to help them out.
So is there specific businesses that you gear more towards, or do you just kind of open the door for anyone and everyone?
Yeah, over the years, we've become a lot more of an open door, and that's because we've had the pleasure of expanding out our company. It just started off being a one-man show, just me. My wife became a part of it as well, kind of voluntold her to become a part of it. So I started spanning out and getting more people, and then there was a paradigm shift where I had to decide, am I going to go down in one industry? I was working a lot in the real estate industry. I still am. It is our biggest niche to date. But we decided to just expand out because there's so many businesses that need our help.
Yeah.
We rode the COVID wave, and that was actually a really strong point for us because so many businesses that were strictly brick and mortar did not realize the magnitude of damage that can be done when you don't have storefront anymore. Your storefront is worthless right now. What's worth it is having your online presence. And a lot of them didn't catch on in time. And that was, it was a bittersweet moment because obviously you want your company to grow. And we grew during that time, but there were local businesses that never made it out because we couldn't get to them in time, right? We didn't have the infrastructure. We can't help everyone, right? And so that was an awakening for me. It was like, all right, cool. I did my part. I helped myself grow. I helped my local businesses grow. How can I expand out more? And it came down to this, which is you just need a bigger team.
Mhm. So and you have one, and I met some of them. So what's amazing about you is, I have a lot of people that come on here that are business people, that are marketing people, work with local businesses, but you have like a whole production team going on. And you also work as a director on the set, as I've seen. So what sets you apart with those tools than any other marketing company here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, what I think sets us apart is really having a heart for it and having a heart for not just what you're making as a whole, but for that fellow business, right? We have to undertake them as much as we can as if it was an extension of our own business. And so when I work with either I'm helping, on the production side or the advertising side, I have to be present. There's so many systems and, there's different schools of thought, right? Right now it's really trending to be super focused on AI and all that ability that comes with that. But with that, what you miss out on is the heart. And I think the heart is what differentiates us so much. You have to be present.
Right.
Stop trying to, automate yourself out of the business and be like, you know what, I don't need to be there. I can hire a VA for that. I can hire this and that. Yes, there's a place for that. That's great. But who are they going to remember at the end of the day? Are they going to remember your logo? No. They're going to remember the face behind that.
Mhm.
And so I want to be that memorable face that people can trust,
Mhm.
not just for, the production side or the marketing or the media side, but as their business partner. And that's the way I see it.
So do you take a lot of time into getting to know these business owners, obviously, to really get a story behind whatever you're shooting for them, whether it just be like an ad or a long-term commercial? How does that process really work for you?
You know what? In a perfect world, I'd like to say yes.
Okay.
And I think kind of like what we're doing right now, we're having such great dialogue. But at the end of the day, you can only give what people give you.
Yeah.
And so it's an exchange of energy. So I have some businesses that are just really dry cut, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand they have a million other things to do, and we're just a little speck. We're just a little drop in the bucket. And they're like, listen, we just want this media. This is exactly how we want it. We don't really care for your direction.
Okay.
Just try to in and out. And that's fine. We'll do
Yeah.
that, and we understand, hey, that gets the bread, right? It gets the money. But we also want to nurture that relationship, because when someone values what we bring as a creative, and then they let their ideas flourish as well, and we combine those, that's when you get the strongest campaigns ever. And those are so much fun.
Yeah. So you also have now been dabbling in a little TV commercial type thing, and you have something called the Chaotic Rentals. Am I right?
Yes.
You're using all Vegas locals to be in this comedy show. How did you also add on doing more so of that type of production versus more of just marketing campaigns and stuff like that?
You know what? It came so organic, and that's what I really love about situations that happen in life. I am someone that I try to structure things so often, but the beauty of life is the things that you simply can't structure. They come into your life in little small precepts, and then you build upon those. You're like, you know what? Hey, not only is this fun, not only am I enjoying it, but I can make a business out of it. And so the way it started was I actively wanted to also do a little bit of acting here and there. Hey, I'm still young, right? Work it. And so I started doing that, and I noticed that there was a lot of great things available for actors and actresses, but there wasn't sufficient resources or structure in Las Vegas. And I'm like, entertainment capital of the world, why is this so like 20, 30 years behind other places, even behind Atlanta and everything when it came to that infrastructure? So I decided, hey, you know what? Let me throw in my little bet. Let me try to improve the local community in my own way. And of course, I'm still learning. And I think that's the best thing, is I'm still very much a student in this acting and showbiz industry, but we've made it for about a year now with the Real Fleets, and we're pushing this new TV show, which we're very excited for. So I'm going to give a little shout out to my business partners on the Real Fleet side, Lee Cummings and Felicia Cruz. They have been fantastic in helping produce this show, and I think it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah. So do you have any plans for where the show is going to be aired, streamed, etc.? How far along are you in with the show?
Yeah, so right now we are in production. So we're currently about halfway through filming the pilot episode. So there are so many little logistical things that go with that. But for us, that end goal is going to be, hey, let's pitch this to some really important networks. I'm not at liberty to disclose exactly what's going on, but I think, our local talent that has put in their heart and soul into this, and our creative teams, they're going to be so satisfied with the results. I've seen little bits and pieces of it. I don't like to have the whole thing spoiled for me either.
Okay.
But yeah, so in some productions, I won't be there in some productions where I'm not needed, just so I can maintain a little mystery myself.
Of course.
So yeah, that's where we're at with Chaotic Rentals.
So what have you found most difficult when it comes to being in production and trying to enter that realm of film? What has the biggest obstacle been for you in regards to this city of Las Vegas?
Yeah, I think our biggest strength is also our biggest weakness. We, as Las Vegas locals, are a great gig economy. And so that gig economy is really powerful because that can allow you to allocate and grab as many people as possible. The only problem with that gig economy that I've seen is that it's really hard to discern between the genuine talent that wants to be there and those that are just there for a paycheck.
Right.
And like I understand that and I respect that because everyone has to live life. But if you don't have the heart to be in this type of production, this is not a production that feeds you. You don't have your own trailer. You don't have this. You don't have that. This is, you're going to be in creator mode. Our talent themselves has to be in creator mode. If you're just in follower mode and you want everything on a silver platter, sorry, join another production, hang out in LA. But right now, we're builders. So whoever's a part of this has to be ready to build together.
And that pretty much sums up a lot of Vegas things, unless there are big ones coming here. But even then, like the way that we view Vegas actors and artists is in that way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So is there something that you would want to change in regards to marketing and using production alongside with that? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind in Las Vegas with that?
Ooh, that's a great question. So for me, legacy means a lot of things, because there's reputation associated with that too. And so the legacy I think I would want to leave behind is that if you want to become successful in your space, don't be afraid of teamwork. Don't be afraid of reaching out and saying, hey, I need help. And so that kind of collaborative environment, I think, is what's going to make us really strong. So I want to be known or remembered for being able to build something that is so much larger than me. This is not a Hollywood production. I can't even stress that further. No millions of dollars, no crowdfunding. It's just being made out of local talent here. And so to show that it's possible to do amazing things, I mean, there's so many different studios that have, been independent and they've garnered so much success just through their sheer hard work. I don't think it's all hard work. You also have to actually have talent with that. But if you combine the two, you're going to do great.
So what does the end goal look like for you with everything you do? Real estate, marketing, production, all of this stuff. Where do you want to see yourself at the end of the line?
You know what? It's going to sound super simplistic, but it's a little bit selfish at the same time. It's happiness, right? That's really what the end goal is are you enjoying what you do? And so for me, I've never seen a career or a partnership or a venture as something to where, hey, monetarily we have to make 5 mil and then I'll be happy, right? And then I'm like on to the next venture. For me, it's, am I really enjoying myself? And I'm living in the moment. And I think that's the thing that, outside of being a business person, being myself, right, is trying to find that identity. What makes me happy on the day to day? Because you can make a lot of money doing things that don't bring you happiness. So that's where I'm at. Just trying to figure out life, just like everyone else. What makes you happy in your career? And if you're good at it, keep doing it. Even if you're not good at it, keep doing it. Just keep pressing forward.
So what does make you happy? Have you found that yet?
Yeah, I think being with my wife, being in a family setting with close friends as well, that is what brings me the most happiness. What I'm doing in life right now, what I'm doing is creating, and I love what I'm creating. I'm creating that reality, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you can't work 24/7, and I've realized that, as someone that has started their own business at 20 years old, time flies. It flies super fast. So, of course, we have to labor, we have to work, but set aside time to enjoy with your family. That's what makes it the happiest.
Yes, of course. And at the end of the day, that's where you're going home to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's who's supporting you. So where can anyone find you for your services? Not your marketing, and then also if your Vegas locals want to get cast in anything or be up to date with their productions, where should they go for those things?
Okay, well, since you're interviewing me, you get a chat with me, I'd say use me as your first resource. So you can go to on Instagram at the Marlon Medina. Once you're there, you're going to be able to branch out into whatever interests you. So if you're interested in working with us on the real fleet side, there's links to that. If you're interested in working or your business that needs marketing services, you're welcome to go to the GMS side, and we'll chat from there. We're real people. We're locals. We're not robots. We're not outsourced, and we're here to make a difference.
Yes, and he's a great communicator. Every time that I would reach out to him, he'll send a voice message. So he's really communicative and he's really serious about his business. So there's no worry on that end for you guys. And so the last question that I always have that I ask all of my guests would be? Is there a motto or philosophy that you live by?
Yeah, I would say we all have dreams, we all have aspirations, but I think one of the hardest things to do is to actually start them, right? As someone that is creative, you could be innovating all day. And those are wonderful ideas, but if you don't take action, they're worthless. It's a heartbreaking thing, right? Because we want to create and we want to make things happen, but if you don't take action, it's not going to get you anywhere. So get up, fight through whatever you're facing. Everyone faces their own demons, their own challenges, but you have to get up because yes, we're dealing in a virtual kind of environment. We're an online business. None of us are physically going to war, but mentally you're going to war. So wake up and face a challenge and get it done.
Yeah, because what you do takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And sitting on the computer, planning, interacting with people, getting things done, planning stuff. That might not be going to the office, but like it's all the time. It never ends.
Yeah.
So how do you cut it off? How do you say, okay, this is the end of my day today. I need to spend time with my wife. I need to not think about work because I'm pretty sure in the creator mind and also in the marketing mind, your brain is always going. Right?
This is a scary mind. Like if you go inside this environment, it's kind of like if you've seen Spider-Man and you've seen like the multiverse and all that kind of stuff. You've seen the recent Loki film. You'll see there's all these kind of strands and threads and different dimensions. That's kind of how that's kind of like how my brain feels. So it's kind of chaotic, and I think the way that you manage that is you have to trust your gut, your intuition, or as I would say, trust your soul, right? As I believe that we are here divinely. You have to trust that, and you have to manage it accordingly. I don't think there's a set regimen. I'm not a believer in the wake up every day at 3 a.m. in the morning or cut off work at this time or that time. I think as human beings, we all have our agency, and it's down to us every single day to decide what path am I going to take.
Right.
You yourself, no one else can tell you. You know exactly when you are cutting the line too close, when you're slacking, and when it's time to get work done. So, short answer is you get to choose.
There you go. Yeah, or just have that mind going, that constant adrenaline, and then it'll just be ongoing for you.
Ride the madness. You have to ride it.
You have to kind of be a little mad to do what you do. So, hey, you're perfect for it. So thank you so much for being here, Marlon. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please go support him on his Instagram and go down the web of all his links to everything that he does, whether you're a business, local business, small business, big business, or you're an actor or talent. They're always looking for people to be part of his recent productions. So, hey, everyone, round of applause for Marlon.
For you. Fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. So make sure you guys don't go anywhere because you guys know I'm not done talking. So I will see you after this break.